Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I will show you how you can boost your development productivity and build React apps quickly without compromising on the code quality and developer experience. I have recently used this platform and built React apps where I focus only on the features that are important to me rather than writing the components and CSS from scratch. So I thought it will be a worth sharing with you so that you can also use it and increase your productivity and save some time. And this platform is absolutely free. So in this video, we are going to transform this Figma design into this React website and deploy it on Vercel. So if this sounds interesting, then stick around. Also, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing what we are going to do is I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the Figma design that we are going to use to transform our design into a React application. So let me go to my browser and here you will see that this is the Figma design that we are going to use. So it's a simple blog website which have some pages. So you will see that we have this home page and then we have this blog page where we will see the individual blog. Let me zoom out this. So you will see that this is the blog page, and then we are going to have the profile page. So we are going to have two different profiles. One profile will be the dev2 platform and the other profile will be for the medium platform. So this one is the dev2 and this one is the medium. Then we also have two more screens for writing a blog on the medium and then writing a blog on the dev2 platform. So these are the 5 to 6 screens that we are going to use, and we are going to transform this Figma design into the React app using the DhiWise platform. Now let me give you a little bit of walkthrough about the DhiWise platform. This DhiWise platform is absolutely free. You don't need to pay anything. So I'm going to go to this DhiWise, and this is the platform that we are going to use, and it's going to boost our productivity without compromising on the code quality and the developer experience. And the platform is widely used among developers from the top companies like Google, Freshwork. And about this platform is that it's a programming platform where developers can convert their designs into developer-friendly code for mobile as well as the web apps. And DhiWise platform automates the application development lifecycle. And the platform go through all the designs and it generates the readable, modular, and reusable code. So what we can do is with this, we can instantly build the applications. We can have the Figma design or a sketch design. We can also use some of the templates they have already created. So I'm going to show you everything how we are going to go from the Figma design to the full-fledged React web application. And some core features of this platform is that we only need to code what matters to us. Like we don't need to write each and every CSS for the styling. The platform will do for us. And the platform is fully built using the open source libraries. They are also going to soon launch the DhiWise GPT, which will be an AI code assistant. And then with this, they also have a lot of templates, as I mentioned earlier, like the e-commerce mobile apps. You can build the productivity application, company intranet. So I'm not going to waste much time actually talking about the platform, as we already know the platform is very good. Now let's see how we can build the React web application using DhiWise. So what I will do is we can just click on build your app. And before that, you need to sign up your account, and it's absolutely free. You don't have to pay any charges for creating React apps and downloading your source code. So I already have an account. So I'm going to click on build your app, and it is going to take me to the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. And here you will see that you can build mobile applications. You can build web application. You can also build backend application. So we will focus on the web application. Now here, what we will do first thing is I'm going to click on this blue button, which is the new application, and then I'm going to choose one of the options. We can create a new app. We can create from the predefined templates they have, or we can have create from a screen library. So let me show you what are the predefined templates they have. So I'm going to click here, and if we go to the web, then you will see that there are a lot of predefined templates. So they have this buy, rent, sell property application. So you will see these are all the designs and the UI. So you can use this template and you can build this application. They also have the furniture store, admin app, online courses, blog app, banking app. So they have a lot of templates for different various use cases. So if I click on this grow it, then you will see that it is related to the business analytics. You have the login screen, sign up screen, then you have the home page, you have the pricing. So you can directly use this template and you can create the project. Or the other way is screen library, where you can choose any of the screen. Like if you want to build a D2C, then you can simply click on this and you can see that these are the screens which you can use and create your project. But what we will do is, let's go back to the dashboard and we are going to use our own Figma design, which is this one. So I'm going to go back here and then I'm going to click on new application. I will click on create new app. Now it will ask me for the application name. So I'm going to have the React blog website. I will use the technology as React web app. So they only support React at the moment. Then we can choose the language. We can choose the JavaScript or we can have the TypeScript. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to choose JavaScript. Now it's prompting me for a design platform. So which platform we are going to use for the design? So we can use the Figma, Adobe XD or Sketch. So I have Figma designs. I'm going to select Figma. All right. Now it's asking me for the Figma account. So I have added my email address for the Figma account. Now we need the Figma URL from where the designs can be fetched. So I'm going to go here. I will copy this. Let's go back here and I'm going to paste the Figma design URL here. Now I'm simply going to click on create new app. So I have already used this Figma design. So I'm going to choose create new app. All right. And this is going to create the new application. So now you can see here that it has scanned all the pages in the Figma design and it has listed down all the pages. Now we can choose that for which page we need to create the application. So what I will do is I'm going to select dashboard, blog page, dev to profile, medium profile, write on medium. And for now, I will just skip write on dev to because I'm going to show you how you can sync the pages later on. So I'm going to click on submit. All right. So now here what we can do is now you will see that it is just going to take a couple of minutes to fetch all the designs, downloading all the images, auto identifying the app components, which are the components it has to be created, then extracting all the colors from the Figma, then images, fonts, downloading screen images, then it's going to generate the components and validate the component names, setting up the prototype action and extracting strings from the Figma. So the process goes through a couple of steps. And what we can also do here is we can give the meta title. So I'm going to give the meta title as React blog website. I will give the fav icon as it is. We can also change them. Then I'm going to click on next. So it's asking me that it's still fetching. So should we continue with the configuration? So for now, what I will do is I will just wait and set up configuration. So now everything is done here, 100% complete. Now it prompts us for the code structure, which suits best for our need. So we have the storybook setup. We have without storybook. So I'm going to go without storybook and we will use the framework configuration as create React app, a beginner friendly. All right. So I'm going to click on next. And the next configuration is about the source code that we can use any of the version control tool, or we can also use the extension of the DhiWise in our VS Code. So I'm going to click on OK, got it. Now here you will see that it has auto identified all the UI components and auto setup actions in our application. So we have all these UI components which have been identified. Then we have some of the custom components, and then now we can just click on the let's start. All right. So now if I click on the back, so here we will see that now we have all the components and all the pages. So these are all our pages. Now other good part of the platform is that now we have already created all the pages, but if we want to make some changes in our Figma design and we need to resync our project, so what we can do is we can simply click on this page setting and you can see that we have an option of a sync design changes. So if I click on this, then it's going to refresh the design and it will prompt me again the pages that we need to select or the changes that we need to select. So I have purposely missed this write on dev too. So now I'm going to check this and I'm going to click on fetch page. So now this time it is going to fetch the page. So you will see that now fetching the Figma resources. All right, so now my resync is done and you will see that now we have 6 pages. So the one new page which has been added is the write on dev 2. Now the next thing which I want to show you is that we can also preview. So if I click on the preview, then it is going to preview our components. So we can see here that now this is how our design will look like, and this is how our pages. So if I go and if I click on the blog, then you will see that this is my blog page. We can also generate the source code, and we can also share this project with our other teammates. So now if I go back, so I'm going to cancel this, and now here what we can do is we can import our APIs, and we can also create a new API. So we are not going to do any API connection here, so I'm just showing it for the reference. Then the next is the constant. So if you have any constants in the application, we can add a constant file. We can also add some protected routes. So what I'm going to do is we have this 6 pages, but I'm going to add some protected routes. So for the dev2 profile and medium profile. So for these 2 pages, I'm going to make them protected. So what I will do is, so I'm going to click on move to protected. And here it's asking me to give a local storage key. So what I will do is I'm going to give a local storage key as auth key. I'm going to click and I'm going to submit it. So the operation is successful. And the last one is the settings, where you can change your application name or meta title. All right, so now we will go back to our pages. Here we can also see the code view, how our application is going to look like. So I'm going to click on the code view, and you will see that it's prompting me that the code is not yet generated. So what we can do is we can build the app. So I'm going to cancel this, and you will see that there is a button build app. So it's going to build our React application from this design. So I'm going to click on build app, and it's going to take some time. It's going to generate the boilerplate code, identifying the UI components, create our React application, generating our JSX layout, components, and packaging project files. So here's some information it gives, that this project application is built using the CRA. It uses Tailwind CSS for the design. And now we will just click on view code. So here you will see that now we have a complete React application built out of our Figma design. So you will see that we have this Tailwind config, which has the configuration related to the Tailwind, all the colors and themes. Then we have this post CSS config.js, which is for the Tailwind CSS. We have the package JSON. In the package JSON, we have all the dependencies. We have the scripts and everything, whatever we need for the application. We have the JS config. So it's a simple base URL. Then we will just go to the source folder. And in the source folder, you will see that we have this complete code. So this is our index.js, the main entry point of our application. Then we have this app.jsx, which contains the routes, and we can go to the routes. So here you will see that we have all the routes, and among all the routes, we are using the lazy load. So it generates a pretty good quality of code. So it's using the React lazy so that it will only render the page whenever it's required. And the code is also very well organized. So here you will see that it's using React suspense, router, and in the router you will see that it has the routes. So it's using the React router DOM version 6. If we go to the package JSON, then we can just verify that it's using the latest version of the React router DOM. Now let's go back to the routes, and you will see that among all the pages we created 2 protected routes. So the dev2 profile and the medium2 profile, they are under the protected routes. So you don't need to write all this code. All the code is already done. You will only focus on the specifics of your project which you really like. All right, if we go to the styles, then we have all the styles. These are all the pages. So if we go to the dashboard index, then we see that this is the JSX part with the CSS. All right, now if we go to the components, these are all the components, and then we have the assets. Now what we can do is we can use this code and we can put it on our local VS Code and we can run it. So I'm going to go to this small tab in the bottom. You will see that there is a sync or download code. So I'm going to click on this, and you have multiple options. What we can do is we can directly push our code to the GitHub, or we can download the source code, or we can also have another option that we have a VS Code extension. So I'm going to use this option and set up my local environment. So I'm going to refresh my token, and then I'm going to copy the token. Now let's go to the VS Code. So this is my VS Code, and in the VS Code, what you have to do is you need to go to the extensions, and then you need to search for DhiWise. So they also have this Wise GPT plugin. So we need to download this DhiWise extension. So I'm going to click, and I have already downloaded the extension. So you can see that we have the icon here. So you can download this. So I will click on the sync code, and it will prompt that open directory where you want to sync. So let's open the directory first. All right, so I have opened the directory where I want my code to be synced. So I will go back to the extension. I'm going to click on sync code, and there will be a prompt. So I'm going to click on yes, and you will see that it is asking me for the access token. Now we can take this access token from here. I'm going to copy, and then we can put the access token here. So I'm going to have my access token, and this is going to sync my code. So you will see that there is a sync DhiWise. So we are going to just wait for it, and you will see that now the code is synced and we have all our code on our local machine. So now let's run this. So I'm going to go to the terminal. Now I'm going to use yarn. So I will have the yarn and yarn start. So it is going to download all the dependencies with this yarn command, and then we are just using the yarn start, which is going to start my application on localhost 3000. So you will see that we have the script of start. So what I will do is I'm going to hit enter. All right, so now all the dependencies are downloaded, and now it's starting my application on the localhost 3000. So we will go to the browser, and we see that this is our React app, which is up and running. So I'm going to click on the dashboard. Then we see that this is the dashboard. We can go to dev to profile. We have the medium profile, but you will see that none of the links or none of the navigation is working. So we can also fix this. So what I will do is we will go back. So right now, if we want to go to the pages, we can just go to the pages directly. So I'm going to go back, and we can go to the blog page. So this is the blog page. We have this dev to profile, but we are not able to go to dev to profile as it is a protected route. Medium profile, it's a protected route. Then we have write on medium, and then we have the write on dev to. Now what I will do is I'm going to show you how you can add the navigations. So let's go back to the platform, and here you will see that this is our dashboard. Our designs on the dashboard, the header on the dashboard and on the other pages is a little bit different. So that's why we have the header code as different. So what I will do is we have this navigation as 0. So I'm going to click on this configure. All right, and now this is going to give me a layout tree where I can select any of the component, and then I can add an action item on that. So what I will do is I'm going to minimize this. So for this text dashboard, I need to add a navigation or an action item. So I'm going to do a right click, and you can see that we have a create action. So I'm going to click on the create action, and I need to have a navigation there. So I'm going to click on navigation, and when someone clicks on it, I need to take him to the dashboard page. All right, so you see the operation is successfully executed. Now let's do a similar thing. So I'm going to create action, and now I'm going to click on navigation, and then we are going to go to dev to profile. All right, we will add for the medium. We will go to the medium profile. Then for the write on medium and write on dev to, what I will do is that for the write on medium, we can also add the authentication using the DhiWise platform. So what I will do is for write to medium, I'm going to add an authentication that only authenticated user will be able to write it. So I'm going to go to authentication, and here they provide out of the box Google authentication. So I'm going to click on Google, and then I'm going to click on save. All right, so now we have added an authentication here. For write on dev to, we are just going to have a navigation. So I'm going to click on it, and I will have write on dev to. All right, so now all my navigations on the dashboard is done. So I'm going to go to back, and you can see here now that we have one authentication added, and we have the navigation 4. We can similarly add navigations for other pages as well. So what I will do is I'm going to add the navigation on all the pages. So I'm going to click on configure, and here I'm going to add the navigation for the dashboard. So I'm going to do a right click, create action, and I will go to navigation. We will have the dashboard. For the dev to profile, I'm going to select dev to. For the medium profile, I'm going to select medium profile. For write on medium, here we have already added a authentication. So for this also, I'm going to add the authentication, save. All right, and then for this one, I'm going to simply add the navigation, and it will go to write on dev to. I will go back, and then I'm going to do the same thing for dev to profile. So I'm going to click configure. I'm going to select the dashboard, create action. I will go to navigate. Then we will go to dashboard. For dev to profile, we will go to dev to profile. Medium profile, we will go to medium profile. For write on medium, we will have the authentication for Google. For write on dev to, I'm going to add the write on dev 2. So this way you can also add the navigation for the medium profile. But one thing I want to show you here, that if I go to write on dev2, and here what we will do is we have two action item, publish and cancel. So for the cancel, I want to go back to the previous page from where I have been redirected to this page. So what I will do is I'm going to create action and we will go back navigation. So this is automatically going to have a navigation back to the source page. So now we have added all the navigation stuff. Now if we go back to our blog, then if we go and see on all the pages, if we go to the dev2 profile, then we will not be able to go to dev2 profile. But what we can do is we can go to inspect in the application. I'm going to go to the local storage, and here I can actually add a key. So what I will do is I'm going to have the auth key, and here I will have the auth key. So it is looking for the auth key, and if we go to our code base, if we go to the source, if we go to components, and if we go to protected route, then here you will see that it looks for the auth key. All right, so now we have added the auth key in our local storage. So now if I click on dev2 profile, then you will see that we go to dev2 profile. If I go back and if I go to medium profile, then we see we go to the medium profile and the medium profile is activated. If we go to dev2 profile, we have the dev2 profile, but you will see that the UI alignment is not fine. We can also fix this. So what I will do is I'm going to go back here and we will go to this page. So let me click on the page, and now here in the tree layout we can select each of the elements. So I'm going to select this, and here we'll see that we have the CSS on the left hand side. So I'm going to minimize this, and for this, if we see, then we see that we have the margin. So this margin we can remove it. So if I go back here, if I do an inspect element here, all right, then if I select this, then you will see that the CSS is not proper. We have this unnecessary margin. So here you will see that we have this margin left, which is actually not so good. So we can change this to an auto. So what I will do is I'm going to go back to the DhiWise platform, and here I'm going to change this to auto. So I'm going to change this to auto as well. All right, then I will also change this article to auto. So we will have everything in the center aligned. So I'm going to change this to auto. We have this image, so we have this list. All right, and for this list also I'm going to make this as auto, and I'm going to change this to auto. So now we can just save the changes. So I'm going to click on save changes. All right, so the changes are being saved, and we will also fix the medium profile. So let's go back here. I'm going to go to the medium profile. All right, so now let's go to the medium profile, and here also we will just add the margin auto. So I'm going to select this, we'll scroll down, and we can add this as margin auto. So let me have the margin auto. For the following, we will also have the margin auto. So let's select the margin auto. Now we have the list here. So we have two lists, 1 and 2. So for both the list, we will have the margin auto. So everything should be in the centered align. So I'm going to change this to auto, and I will also change this to auto. Now I'm going to click on save changes. Now we have done a lot of changes on the application on the platform side. So what we will do is we need to regenerate our code. So I'm going to click on build app, and this is going to regenerate all the code with the new changes that we have done so far. Alright, so our code is ready. We can just click on the view code, and in the view code we will see that what all changes have been made in the code. So if we go to our source and if we go to our pages, then on the dashboard we have added the navigation. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to the navigations. So here you will see that we have a button, we have an on click, and we have added the navigation. For the medium profile, if we go to medium profile and if we go here, then you will see that we also added this use Google login. So these all the changes, we can see it in this code base. So we can also go to write on dev2, and in the write dev2 we have added a back navigation. So you will see that we have this use navigation, and then it's using the on click and navigation -1. So it will just go back to the page from where it came. So from the code perspective, the code is in a good quality, it's readable, and there are a lot of reusable components. Now what we can do is, if we want to sync this latest code to our VS code, then what we will do is we will again go to this, we're going to refresh, and I'm going to copy the token. Let's go to our Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to click on sync code, and here you will see the action will sync your latest build from DhiWise to VS code. So I'm going to click yes, and now it is syncing, and it will show me all the files that have changes. So here if I go to public in the HTML, then you will see that these are the new changes and these are my local changes. So we'll just accept the incoming changes. So I'm going to click on this is accept all incoming changes. All right, so we have accepted the changes. Apart from that, there are also changes in different files. So I'm going to click here on the app, and then I will just simply do the accept changes. All right, then I'm going to click on this tick mark, which will be the save results. Now let's go to this blog page. We can just use these arrows to see all the changes, and I will just accept all the incoming changes, and I'm going to click save. All right, now let's go to this index.js. We are going to accept all the incoming changes. We are going to save. For dev2 profile, we are going to accept all the incoming changes, save. We are going to accept all the incoming changes. We are going to save. Then right2, we are going to accept all the incoming changes, and we are going to save. And now for the package.json also, we are going to do the same thing. We are going to accept everything, and then we are going to save. So you will see that when we added the Google authentication in the package.json, it automatically added a dependency, and now we are getting the errors because we don't have this dependency. So what I will do is I'm going to close this. All right, then I'm going to do yarn and then again yarn start. So this is going to install all the latest dependencies, and then I'm going to start my application on the local. All right, the dependency is installed and the application is now running on the localhost 3000. So you will see that now there are a couple of changes. So if I click on this dashboard, we actually go to the dashboard page. If I click on dev2 profile, we actually go to dev2 profile. If I click on medium profile, we actually go to medium profile. And for write on medium, if I click on it, then it is going to open the Google authentication. It will give me an error because I don't have the client ID. So if we go back to our Visual Studio Code and in the environment, then we will need to have the Google client ID. But I'm not adding any client ID. It is just for the reference. And if we go to write on dev2, then if I click on the cancel, you will see that I will go back to my page. So the application is almost ready with the UI and with the layout, all the components, and that actually pretty much helped me to build my application much faster if I have to write all this components and the CSS from scratch. So that's where this platform is very useful. Now the another aspect of the platform which I want to show you is that we can also put our code in the GitHub repository. So I'm going to click here, select Git repository. So I'm going to click, and you just need to sync your account with the DhiWise. So it's fetching all the repositories, and here you will see that I don't have any empty repository. So what I will do is I'm going to click and add a new empty repository. So I'm going to go here, and here what I will do is I will have the React blog website created using DhiWise. So let's have DhiWise. Now I'm going to have that this is blog website built using DhiWise, and I'm going to click create repository. So this is an empty repository. Now let's go back, and if I refresh it, then you will see that my latest repository is now visible here. So I'm going to click on select, and this is going to push all my changes. So I will just have commit, and all my changes will be pushed to my GitHub repository. So the code is committed and everything is pushed. So if I go to my repository, if I refresh, then you will see that everything is available here. So I'm going to change the branch, and it creates a new branch for every commit. So you will see that we have all the changes and everything here. Now we are also going to deploy this website on Vercel. So let's go to the Vercel first. So I'm going to go to Vercel. All right, I'm going to click on the link, and I will just log into the account. So you can also create your account on the Vercel and you can log in. And what I will do is if we go back here, then you will see that if I click on this, then you can deploy your application. For that, you will need the token. So what I will do is I'm going to go to Vercel. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let's go to settings. And in the settings, what we will do is we will go to tokens, and then you can create your own token here. You can give any token name like React Blog App DhiWise. You give the scope as full account, give the expiry, and then you will have the token. You just copy the token, and then you can put your token in this where I have my own token here. I can also change the token, but I'm going to keep it as it is. All right, so now what we will do is we are going to import our project. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click add new project. All right, then I'm going to click on import third-party Git repository, and here I'm going to add my GitHub repository. So what I will do is I'm going to go here, and I will click on the repository link. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to simply add it here. All right, I'm going to click continue, and now you see that we have this project imported. Now what we will do is we can go to DhiWise here, and we can just click on this button to deploy our application. So I'm going to click on this, and this will deploy my application on Vercel. So you will also see that we have this production deploy logs. All right, so now our application is deployed, and we can also click on the link, and I will just open the link, and you will see that we have our application here deployed. So I'm going to click on dashboard. We can go to dev to profile, but we cannot go because it's a protected route. Then we can have this medium profile. We cannot go for write on dev. Then if we click here, then we see that we have this. If I go back, then we have write on dev 2. Then if I go to the dashboard, and if I click on write on dev 2, if I click cancel, I will come back, and write on medium, if I click on it, it's going to open the Google authentication page. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you, that how powerful this DhiWise platform is in building application and boosting our productivity. So if I wanted to build the same application from scratch, it would have taken me hours, but we have just made this complete application UI in less than an hour. So you can just give a try, as it's a completely free platform. You can download your source code and you can use it. The platform is in the beta phase, so you can also add some comments if you have some suggestions or feedbacks. And it is a platform, not a tool, and that will help us to optimize our development lifecycle and save our time. So I will just give you a little bit walkthrough of the documentation as well. So if we click on the products, then you will see that it also offers the Flutter, React, Node.js, Android and iOS. And the main popular feature of the platform is the design to code. It will transform your design into the code. Now, here are some of the resources links where you can see the documentation. So if I click on it, then you will see that this is the complete documentation of the DhiWise, where if you are stuck somewhere, you can just go through the documentation and just read it. Then it also has the Discord community. You can always go to their Discord channel and then post your suggestion or feedback. You can also read their blogs. So they have some good blogs which will also help you to understand more about the platform and how you can use it in your day-to-day development activity. So that's all I have in this video. I hope you liked the video. A thumbs up is appreciated. You can also connect with me via Facebook or Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter for latest updates. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. Thank you. Thanks for watching.